10 strange, unexplained broadcasts. Southern Television Broadcast. On November 26, 1977, the Hannington transmitter in the United Kingdom was interrupted by a strange broadcast consisting of an unknown voice proclaiming that they were a representative of an intergalactic association.
This is the voice of a representative of the Ashtar Galactic Command speaking to you.
The speaker talked for about 6 minutes, warning people to get rid of their weapons of evil, and there was only a short time to live together in peace before engineers were able to take the signal back.
Be still now, and or your chance may not come again.
The broadcast hijacked the audio only. The transmission is speculated to be a joke or a hoax, but the origin of the broadcast is unknown and the people, or aliens behind it, haven't been identified. UVB-76. The UVB-76 transmission, also known as the buzzer, was first heard in Russia near Moscow, and the transmission consists of a constant buzz tone that changes pitch equaling to about 25 tones per minute, 24 hours a day. The transmission broadcasts on the frequency of 4625 kHz and is sometimes interrupted by a voice transmission in Russian. This has been occurring since 1982 and shows no sign of stopping or concluding anytime soon. The origins of the source of the broadcast are unknown, but conspiracy theorists believe that the transmission comes from Russia and it is divulging confidential and top-secret military information. The signal has grown in strength to the point where it can be heard all over Europe. Max Headroom pirating incident. On November 22, 1987, Chicago's WGN-TV was interrupted during the nightly news in the early evening. Screens across the city went black for 15 seconds, and then someone in a Max Headroom mask began dancing around a grainy film with a buzzing noise, with a message being lit up at the bottom of the screen. Then, around 11:15, WTTW's broadcast of the show Doctor Who was interrupted with a similar feed. But the WTTW interruption was more graphic, with the same guy flipping off the camera, exposing parts of his buttocks, and swapping a man on the bottom with a fly swatter. The people behind the station interruptions were never found. Pornographic interruptions. In May of 2007, Comcast experienced a mysterious broadcast of a sexier nature when an airing of a children's show, Handy Manny, was interrupted by a showing of a hardcore adult film. Comcast did an investigation, but the person responsible was never found, or at least it was never released to the public. Then, in 2012, during a showing of Disney's Lilo and Stitch on Dish Network, the movie was interrupted with 6 minutes of a hardcore adult film. Your children are definitely not safe anymore watching a children's program on television. The Lincolnshire Poacher. The Lincolnshire Poacher is a numbers station that made its first appearance around 1988 and can be heard on the island of Cyprus in the Mediterranean. The station was named after the English folk song because the song was used to open the transmission as well as to close it. What occurred in between was a series of numbers being read by an electronic female with an English accent.
971 39715.
The origins of the broadcast are unknown, but it is speculated that MI6, a British intelligence agency, is responsible and working with the Royal Air Force. The transmission is inactive at the moment, with the last broadcast occurring in 2008. WKCR 89.9. WKCR 89.9 is a student radio station for Columbia University. The incident in question was recorded by an anonymous teenager who was tuning into the station in 1995. He had his cassette player in the boombox that was recording the music when a strange transmission came through that was downright terrifying and creepy. Scary whispering is heard along with chanting and demonic-like sounds. The anonymous listener was so horrified by what he heard that he hid away the cassette and only recently came out with the recording decades later. It is unknown whether the incident was a message from the devil or a bunch of college students having a good time on their school's radio station. The E9 Magnetic Field Station. First heard in the country of Algeria, there was a mysterious radio transmission called the E9 Magnetic Field Station, which consisted of a rendition of Jean-Michel Jarre's Overture Approgator in the beginning, then spoken in Arabic with the words 44D repeated 2 times, then the statement, again, again. Then the transmission closed with the same song it opened with. There is a lot of myth, folklore, and conspiracy theory surrounding this mysterious broadcast, as many typically believe that it is the work of the Algerian intelligence organization. Swedish Rhapsody Station. The Swedish Rhapsody Station emerged sometime in the 1970s and disappeared in 1988. The transmission comes from a station somewhere in Germany and consists of a music box version of the song Swedish Rhapsody, along with a creepy, childlike voice. After the music plays for 5 minutes, a series of messages are repeated 3 times, and then a 100 group message and a 50 group message that is then repeated 2 times. It's weird, and no one understands it. The Whale Song. Also known as the Backwards Music Station, the Whale Song is a mysterious broadcast that has been picked up by numerous radio stations. The sounds are unknown but are reminiscent of radio signals that one would find off naval bases around the world. The sounds are weird and don't sound like songs being played backwards but remind people of the mating calls that some whales make. Theories behind these mysterious broadcasts include a secret government communication method from the United States, along with communication from other countries like England, who have a strong radio signal in their region. The WOW signal. The WOW signal was a radio signal that was captured at the Ohio Wesleyan University's observatory on August 15, 1977. The signal lasted for 72 seconds and was discovered by Jerry R. Emin, and the origin of the signal didn't come from our planet or our solar system. After locating the origin of the signal, Emin found out that it came from the Sagittarius constellation. Once the WOW signal became public, media speculated that it was aliens trying to communicate with us, but Emin believes it's a signal from Earth that bounced off from a reflective surface. The signal has never been found again and is yet to be explained.